If you like travel how-tos, tips and tricks, and now home renovations, you're at the right channel. Make sure you subscribe to follow along for more. Today we're going to be shiplapping this hall wall. We have shiplapped a lot of walls in the past. The first step to do is to clear the wall and then put a coat down of fresh white paint if you're painting your shiplap white. That way, in between the cracks, you see a white crisp wall behind it and you don't get that extra shadow. So let's get this first step done, and then I'll walk you through how to hang the shiplap. Learn from my mistakes. Lock up your kittens so they don't get in the paint. Come on, babies. You got painted out. My little stud muffin here is gonna find the studs on the wall so we can start tacking up some boards.
So we wanna make sure that we have marks where all the studs are gonna go so that you can nail through the studs and everything doesn't fall off the wall after you get it done. So if you have one, use a stud finder. Always check it before you start on the wall to make sure it works. It works! Found a stud!
I knew you were gonna do that. I was like already laughing.
Classic dad joke. So I've already found the studs on the wall. There's one, and I marked them out.
Well,
they're 16 inches apart, typically.
This wall is super easy as well because you can see them. That's why we're covering it.
Yeah, you can see where the tape lines were before.
Yeah.
Here we go. I have my lines put up on the wall so I know where the studs are. We typically use about 1/4 inch thick sanded plywood. So it's very lightweight, it's very cheap, it's very easy to maneuver and work with. So it's a awesome way to do it, and it's always turned out really good for us. But before you get started, a couple of notes. I would always recommend starting at the ceiling and working your way down, because wherever you stop, you're probably gonna have a fairly short board. It usually never ends up perfect. And I'd rather have the tall board be really visible up here and have the short one not be visible at the bottom. So before we get started, I'm gonna make sure that the ceiling is level, because if it's not level, you're gonna wanna make sure that you actually tack this board up level rather than flush with your ceiling, so that you have a level playing field to work all the way down with. So I did test this out already, and surprisingly the ceiling is level right here, which is the first time in this whole house that I found a portion of the ceiling that's level. So I'll work with that, and let's get started. All right, so I'm down to the last row now, so I just need to cut down this bottom row to the thin little piece, and that's why I started from the top, so that that thin piece isn't showing up there.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun.
While Ben is tucking in the kids, we still have the little side section to finish. I'm just gonna put some spackling into the holes here so it can start drying. You can probably hear the chaos that's happening upstairs.
Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking.
I'm gonna go through, fill the rest of the holes, and then we'll touch back in when we're finishing the shiplap on the sidewall over there, and we'll show you how to put the trim on as well.
So for the corners, if you ever have any kind of corners to finish off your shiplap, I did run some more shiplap around that edge here, but we just use...
I thought you were talking to me.
Oh.
You're not. I'm like, what?
Carry on,
I'm like,
carry
I
on.
know.
I'm talking to YouTube world right now. So we just use a pretty simple pine 1-inch corner trim. I'll put it on both sides of this corner.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. My dryer is going. Kids are watching cartoons.
It's like I have to shave that one off.
This is what it's like when you do renovations with 4 kids.
Right? I gotta shave that one off a little bit more, but you can see it looks really nice. Like it just gives a nice finished edge.
Well, that compared to this,
Yeah.
it's quite a big difference.
Yeah.
The top corner that looks like it busted off, or it goes.
No, I
on
had
the
to
trim.
cut it to get around the trim there.
Oh, look at you!
I had to modify it a little bit.
Handyman.
Custom. All right, one more cut on this, and then we should be able to tack it up.
Okay, guys.
I don't think we'll be done.
Just the 2 of us. We can make it if we try. Just the 2 of us.
All right, so shiplap is hung, the trim is on, the holes are filled. Now we're gonna put some paint on there. It's done. Once I put some paint on, we're gonna do a primer coat, right?
Put a quick coat of primer on it.
Yeah,
No problem.
that would be a good idea.
All right, so we're gonna prime, and then we're gonna caulk, and then we're gonna paint, and then we're done. Woo!
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 Hop five.
I got a smooth roller. Usually I like to do a foam roller, but I forgot to pick one up. But this is a smooth to semi-smooth wall, so this should do just fine. If I'm doing a smaller wall, I always like to get a smooth surface roller that's foam, because then it won't create any extra texture on it, but take what you get.
Mom, I got a spintle.
You did? You dying? Before I paint, I'm gonna wipe it down with a very dry, a slightly damp rag, just to get any additional sanding dust off. So I don't want that on my wall.
And then you stood there smiling at me as so many times before.
If I had a nose like this, would you still love me?
I want more.
Yes, I would. It'd be hard to kiss you though.
Would you love me still, Leslie? No. Give me a piece.
I'm not kidding.
I need the love of you.
We have so many more renovations to come, so many more DIYs, so much to come. So if there's any specific video that you want to see, that you can think of, that you want us to show you, put it in the comments below. I'm going to do some DIYs in the RV as well. I'm renovating a bathroom upstairs right now that will be coming out. We're redoing the pool house, the interior, making that really fun. Redoing the upstairs attic, redoing the kitchen, redoing the master bath. Woo!
What? I know about half of those.
Little does he know.
Oh boy.
So make sure you subscribe if you want to see any of our future endeavors and travels and how-tos and home renovations.
Right?
Remember, you're never going to look back on your life and wish you would have less adventure. And right now, our adventure is making our house a home.
And getting your hair in the paint.
Am I again? Shoot, Magoo.
Bye-bye.
Are these cookies for us?
Yes.
Oh.